Okay, got it burning. I'll climb under there in a second. It's showing -6 degrees right there. Bird, it's cold in there. We're gonna close the hood. So, -41 yesterday morning. One of the coldest days on record here in Southwest Montana. Luke's got his 3rd gen Foreigner that he's building out to an Overlander. Fun build, he's put a ton of money into it, including a supercharger, all kinds of mods. So cool stuff. And what we're trying to do today is just see how long it takes this cheapest Amazon diesel heater to warm up the engine compartment. Okay, so the old guys talk about building fires underneath their trucks or their Caterpillars or their tractors or whatever, just to get things pliable enough so that they'll run. Big problems with starting vehicles in cold weather, right, Luke?
Yeah.
So what do you see as far as starting? What kind of problems do you, I mean, besides wear and tear?
Oh, well, the belts, when it's really, really cold, like -40, these wouldn't be very pliable, but now that it's warmer, these obviously can move a lot better, which is good.
So they're prone to fracturing, like busting.
Yeah, just because it's so stiff, like a piece of plastic's pretty stiff. Rubber can get really stiff as well.
So it's better to keep it warm or warm it up.
Yeah.
What is this?
That's just frost on the top of the...
Wow.
Yeah, that's how much frost is on top of this thing.
Okay.
Frost inside the engine bay with the hood closed. It's pretty crazy. But also seals and stuff like that could be so hard that they don't seal like they're supposed to. So it's better to have a little bit warmer
Okay.
on it. So.
And then battery cranking, like capacity?
I'm not sure what this one is. This one is pretty good. This is a 750 cold cranking amp.
But it seems like when it's super cold, the vehicle's like, like doesn't want to start. Is that because the battery voltage is?
It takes so much power, yeah.
And it takes more power?
It takes a lot more power to turn it over.
And there's your aux beam. Dude, that is sweet. I'm loving that. So that's what you have all these Baja designs like hooked up to. Okay, that's not what we're here to talk about. Okay, so let's get this diesel heater going. We got to put some fuel in it. We're going to test it out here, and it should just be a couple buttons. You put the fuel in, push a button, turn it on, push a button to start it, and we're going to see if this works like it's advertised. We do have we're not using a 12-volt battery, although we could hook it to the battery there. We've got an inverter right there. I mean, a transformer, whatever the heck that thing is, that just runs off 120 volts. So I just wired it directly. I need to put a fuse in it. We'll do that later. And let's get this running and see what it does. Well, our goals today were what? We're going to run it for 2 hours, and we're going to see what the temperature increase is. So we got this little temperature sensor. Luke put it right here. And we're going to run this heater underneath it. Instead of building a fire, we're going to run this heater underneath the vehicle and see how it warms up the engine compartment. We're going to run it for a couple hours. Like I said, we're going to use that to monitor the temperature. And right now, where's the thing? Here it is. That temperature sensor says it's -4 out here. So not -41 like it was yesterday morning, but it's still cold. And we're going to see what that temperature, how it fluctuates, how long it takes to get up to, and what's a reasonable temperature. We're going to run it for 2 hours, see what the temperature is. And then we're going to see how it starts. We're going to do a little start video and see how it sounds, see how it cranks. This has been sitting here for what, two days? 2 days in just below zero weather. Nothing above freezing at all. So let's see. This will be fun. Okay, so I think all you do here is turn it on. And it's probably a little hard to see in the light. But, oh, something's happening. Blowing air. All right. That's what the pump sounds like. So now it's priming. It's already blowing air. Of course, it's not warm, but it'll take a little bit to prime, and then we should hear the burn chamber start, hear it light up, and hear it take off. That sounds cool. Okay, got it burning. I'll climb under there in a second. It's showing -6 degrees right there. Bird, it's cold in there. We're gonna close the hood. Now that's not against anything that's gonna melt, or right? Just the oil pan's right there. Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna come back in a few minutes. A picture to say it's very cold here where we live without saying it's very cold here where we live. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes and that heater is cranking out there. It is cranking the heat and it's doing the business. It's 5.7 degrees under the hood now, and that's awesome. That's 12 degrees increase. It's still minus 4 degrees outside. Let's see what it's like in another 20 or 30 minutes. Okay, it's been 2 hours exactly. It's still 1 degree outside, so it's warmed up a little bit. It's 34 under the hood, so that's 33 degrees warmer. And we've run it for 2 hours. Now, we're gonna go start up, see how it starts, but the next video is gonna be, we're gonna tarp the front, try to trap in a bunch of heat and see how that goes. Okay, we're gonna start up 2 hours. Now I'm sure at 34 degrees there was no temperature change in your thermostat. No. Okay. Started pretty smooth. Oh, the frost is gone.
Yeah.
Still saying 0 basically.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's saying. And not all the frost came off the hood. There's still some frost on there. I thought that would melt off. Okay, but it's obviously leaking a lot of air around it. We're gonna try the tarp tomorrow and we're gonna see how that goes. We're gonna try the same settings here and run it for 2 hours and see how much difference in temperature we get. So this might not come out in the camera, but the setting we have it is on 5.4. 180 degrees. This vent's 180 degrees right now. That's pretty hot. All right, we're gonna shut it down. We're gonna start it up tomorrow. Okay guys, welcome back. It's the next morning, minus 30. And so pretty dang cold. My gloves off and my hand's starting to get super uncomfortable already. So we tarped it. We'd like to tarp the whole thing. That would be awesome. That's a big tarp and I do have it, but it's kind of a pain to fold and unfold. We're gonna try this because this is a lot easier. So we just draped it under the hood, nailed it down around the corners, got the heater underneath here in the same position. And there's the intake right there, sucking air for the heater. Hear it ticking. So it's at the same setting, 5.4, whatever that means. And the wind's blowing. I mean, it's not blowing hard, but it's blowing and the windshield is, it's uncomfortable. So we're gonna run this for 2 hours. We got a sensor under the hood. We're gonna see what the temperature is at 2 hours. Okay, the time has arrived. Tarp off here.
50-something degrees.
Oh, 55.8. That's a big difference. Wow, what does it feel like?
It's a little frost on top of that, but not too bad.
And that was on in the same spot that we had it before right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Let's see how it starts. Okay. I mean, how did it sound compared to yesterday?
Sounds about the same.
That's the same? Okay, so the tarp seemed to make a big difference. Of course, that's temperature, that's ambient temperature around the block, right? That doesn't mean the block's all 55 degrees or whatever it was. It's going to take time for that heat to penetrate into the block. That's why we wanted to run it for a couple hours at least. So even though we get the temperature inside the engine compartment up to 50 degrees or whatever, that's awesome, but that doesn't mean the block's fully absorbed all that. So a couple hours at 180 degrees coming out of that thing, that's, I mean, it did make a difference. We didn't have any bad noises on startup and it seemed to start nice and smooth. Definitely warmed up the battery, so. All All right, I think in the future, if we do this again, we'll just throw a tarp over the top, put some bricks around it like we did, put the heater underneath. It also helps kind of keep the heater warmer as well, especially if the wind's blowing like it is right now. Dang, my hand's getting cold. Just holding the phone here. But it would definitely help keep the heat inside and keep the heater warmer while it's trying to warm. Okay, cool. Well, this has been fun. Well, so we ran it about 4 hours, a little under 4 hours, and we had about half full, and it's used, might have been up to there. I mean, what is that, a quart maybe? For 4 hours of running. Now that's at 5.4, the setting was 5.4, so yeah, that's pretty good.